It's great. Definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing that we are going to highly recommend is Lock and Key #3 by Joe Hill, the son of Stephen King, which sounds like
Scary. Scary.
Son of
Joe
Stephen
Hill,
King.
the son of Stephen King.
Right, son of Stephen King. Yes. What do you guys think about this issue?
By the way, you know Joe Hill's first comic book work?
What?
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
That's cool. That's a good fun fact.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Lock and Key?
It's great. It's one of those, like the first issue really I wasn't like that excited about. There was a lot of hype behind it, but it's really just setting a story and building where it's really well done, well written, and it's funny, and it's also dealing with like the kids and not just kind of like the scary stuff.
It's very well paced. The story of it is that there's this family, their dad is murdered at their house, and so they have to go and live in this creepy mansion. But once you're past that kind of that trope of it, like it's great. It's really well paced, and it treats the reader like as an intelligent person. And it's like, just watch it, and you'll see what happens. You don't have to. They don't explain everything.
Yeah, it's really wonderful also because he finds real moments of humanity in it.
Yeah.
These are actually really well fleshed out characters, which is kind of incredible. And he gets them across in both simple and broad strokes at the same time. This is
Like a table.
yeah, you can keep it.
Don't even think about it. What my favorite moment of this specific comic was, you know, there's a room where you go in and you die, and then you can like fly around as a ghost. And it's funny because they show this kid, he's just laying there in this like dead pose, and then it's like, you know, you're thinking like, oh God, what if the sister walks in? And the sister does walk in, you're like, oh crap, she's gonna freak out. But like a typical teenager, she's like, knock it off! And she starts kicking him, his dead corpse, and it's hilarious. She's like, knock it off. He comes back to life, but
I
it was really
hope I never die around you.
lucky for you, I'm not a teenage girl.
Lucky for all of us.
And that's it for the scat. Which is my favorite section because it's the section you guys make up. It's your audience questions, and for that we're going to bring up Boothman!
Boothman! Yeah!
I don't bite. Much. So here's some audience questions.
Sweet.
Number 1, will the animated Batman movie detailing the events between Begins and Night be cool? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Because Kevin Conroy is voicing the Batman.
2 weeks.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, 2 weeks from now we are going to have Kevin Conroy on this very
We're going to make him say all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
We're going to basically trick him into saying I'm Batman as many times. It's great. Are you guys looking forward to this? Have you heard about this? Have you read about this? No.
Sorry, so the actual movie, or you guys having Kevin Conroy?
What do you think about making people say stuff? A great pastime.
We are having Kevin Conroy on the show. Yes. So, Batman Gotham Knight is essentially, it's a linked series of 6 webisodes that are probably going to be released on DVD at some point that are done in almost a manga kind of style, manga anime kind of style. That
it's very similar to the Animatrix.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And each one has a different director, each one has a different writer, but they have a linked story that essentially bridges the gap between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
It's a cool idea. I mean, they do this kind of stuff a lot now. It just depends on how good the stories are.
Yeah.
Linking them together.
The thing that I feel a little weird about with it is that they're bringing in people like Clayface, Killer Croc, things like that. They're not necessarily doing the movie, which I feel like is almost antithetical to what they're trying to do by making it very human, real world, relatively real world.
Yeah, it's weird to be like, I just bought Clayface, now I'm watching the Joker be born here.
Yeah.
I think that is a weird choice.
It would be weird to watch the Joker be born.
You probably
you knew?
What's the next question?
I'm so glad I'm right at the other end of the stage.
He's doing a lot of theme, he's playing Griffin a lot.
This one's for Chris. When will you write a regular Marvel series?
It ain't up to me.
If it was up to you, what would you write?
That's a tough call.
Thunderbolts.
Okay, Thunderbolt. I would love to write Thunderbolt. You know, if it were actually up to me, it would be like Shogun Warriors versus Godzilla, but and it would be ongoing. Like every month, they would just fight. You know, it's tough to say. Now I'm on the spot. I've gotten the lucky thing. I've gotten to write so many characters that I love, and I'm just happy. But you know what? Quite honestly, if I could write any book monthly, it would probably be Captain America, but not until Edward Baker's finished, because I think he's doing an amazing job.
Yes.
Really
Yeah.
blowing out of the water.
What about the rest of you guys? Let's just open this up a little bit. Robbie, if you could draw any book.
Godzilla. I think we got a team here.
Yeah!
Tony.
I know when I write a parallel Godzilla, just poach him now. I always wanted to write the Nick Fury. I love Nick Fury, and I wanted to write him. And when I actually first went to Marvel, I actually pitched like 20 different Nick Fury things. And I'd made the really sort of idiot mistake of believing that the Garth Ennis Fury story was actually liked by Marvel. And I was like, oh, this is a great idea, but this happens. Like, no. And I was like, okay, fine. And I'd kill to do it, but obviously now, with is he or isn't he things happening, you don't know what's going to happen with it. But I would
Scroll.
or I would have done something like off the wall. I'd love to do like an Alfred the Butler series.
Oh, nice.
I mean, the guy's like had so many different retconned ideas in his life. I mean, this guy, like, depending on whether you watch the TV shows or read comics, etc., he's a butler, but he's also been a spy. He's been an espionage.
Yeah.
You know, this guy is the butler to Batman, for Christ's sake. You know, he knows everything. I'd just love to have him thrown into something and really sort of kind of like a Harry Palmer kind of spy type thing, like with Alfred the Butler
He's a badass butler.
fighting Godzilla.
You guys should talk. All right, let's get the next question.
All right, who do you think is a Skrull? Guess who asked that question?
I think that guy.
Well, I hope that it's Iron Man because he's been acting like a douchebag. I hope it's not Wolverine, just because I'm a big fan. But I don't really have any. There isn't someone that I'm like, oh god.
What about Luke Cage versus Jessica Jones? Because I think it's pretty obvious one of them is going to be a Skrull.
Right. I think both of them are Skrulls, and also their baby is a Skrull, and they're all going to find out they're Skrulls and be like, oh, this is totally fine.
And then they're gonna kill the baby, right?
Yeah, then they're going to.
You're off the
You're telling me if you found out your baby was a Skrull, you wouldn't kill it?
No, I'd be like, do something funny.
Yeah, change it to something.
Something funny. Change it to a shoe or something.
Your killer's going to be weird.
I think it's funny if people change it to shoes.
I'm going to reveal how much of a geek I am. I don't think that the Luke Cage, Jessica Jones baby is a Skrull because when Johnny Storm, Fantastic Four, was married to a Skrull and she got pregnant, she had an egg.
Gross.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like it doesn't ignore that.
Who have been an egg.
Yeah.
Mork.
It's a Skrull.
Yeah.
Have you guys been following the whole Skrull thing? Any theories?
I actually know who he's supposed to be.
Cool.
So where are they at?
Way to lord that over us.
Yeah.
Skrullo jacket.
What?
Skrullo jacket is the yellow jacket.
Oh, right.
Skrullo jacket. He's already been revealed.
Right.
Yeah. And Alfred, another butler.
Yes.
Jarvis.
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 Alfred's a Skrull? Shit, that's my
Cross universe.
Oh yeah, here we go.